Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic. 안녕하세요, Aisha입니다. I'm here again with another reaction to All of Us Are Dead. We're now into episode 3 of season 1. So episode 2 was nuts. There's really no other way to describe it. It was pretty much adrenaline the entire time. We saw it was really just the students and the faculty, what little we were able to see, desperately trying to escape being bitten and, being attacked by the zombies that have already turned. And we have a small group of students that have managed to band together and find a semblance of safety. They basically found one hideout that got destroyed, then another hideout that ended up becoming a problem because there was just too many zombies. So we ended the episode with a group of our students, of course, with some of our core people, meaning like Unjo and Chungsun? The names will come to me. And they have met up with the teacher who was actually the most invested in the students' well-being, and one, it looks like the teacher's office. So anyways, they look like they might have potentially found a way to safety, but we ended the episode with poor, I think it's Chungsun, I'm sorry if that's wrong, falling from the window because a zombie got through just as he was trying to come down, which it probably wouldn't have taken as long if Unjo hadn't had a panic attack, but he was falling, and hopefully he's not going to end up on the ground, because even if he does somehow not attract zombie attention, that's a pretty high place to fall from. So we ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. I'm ready to get into this episode, but before I do, this is your first time to my channel, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. Hopefully you like it here and you'll think of hitting that thumbs up button. That way I will get a little bit of a boost in the algorithm, which means a lot to me. I appreciate it very much. And if you really like it here, you might think of hitting the subscribe button. That way you'll be notified when I do more reactions. Hopefully you like it here and you'll join the fam. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Hopefully you too will hit that subscribe button as well if you haven't done so already. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get into this episode now. That's what he said. Watch this fool not believe him and let more people die.
당신이 왜 그 바이러스 왜 만들었는데?
Why not?
형사님.
He's smart. Oh, someone's trying to treat themselves. Are you trying to treat a bite? Because that won't work. Wait, why do you have a... She had one of those X-Acto knives. What the hell? It's the girl who was walking. I was right. She was pregnant. That poor baby. You hiding her or him the whole time. Kudos to the CGI. That almost looked real. Where's the baby? Where's the baby? Don't leave the baby. Don't do that. Please don't.
내 아이가 그냥 죽어버리게 놔둘 수 있어요?
Don't do it. I know it's hard. Oh.
이미 늦었어요.
Yep.
다 죽을 거야.
You ain't lying. Oh, there's my baby. Come on, handsome boy. You got this. Baby steps. That's right. Ooh. Ooh, 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 no. None of that. None of that. Get it together. So he was right above them. I guess if he lands on a zombie, he'll live, but... Wow, homie's got arms. Shh. He's like, I'm pretty sure he knows. He really is a hero. He can't help it. Y'all just love playing with my anxiety, huh? Woo! That was hot! Yes! Go Bear Sue! Okay, this was not meant for two people. And it's like the biggest boy in the room, too. Oh, we're cuddling. Isn't this sweet? Let's move! Kick her in the face. In the face. There we go. Stop it. You know you love it. You feel warm inside. Right? Like, just push her out, please. Thank you. I'm sorry. She deserves this. She's been going out of her way to insult this kid. Yeah? He's like, do it again. What are we going to do? The world's ending.
현주부터 시작된 거면 어떡해요? 현주 병원 갔잖아.
Yep. Oh, look at these kids are smarter than most people.
작업품이라 느려서.
Ew, it's a Windows computer. No matter that, you're going to be there for days.
좀비 바이러스처럼.
Why are you near the window, sir? Can you get away from the window? I don't know why, but it's making me nervous. Go get your baby, please. Go back and get your baby. Her reflexes are next level. But that is God punishing you for leaving your baby. How dare you? You could have dropped her off at a hospital. For the record, I'm aware of the fact that it is very, very hard in Korea to be a single parent, especially a teen parent. But to me, it's just never okay to just leave a baby to die like that. Anyway, that's a whole other discussion that I might talk about at the end of the show. Well, maybe this is going to kick in her survival instinct to go save her baby. I was like in a bathroom too. Like no one would have found that baby there. Please don't tell me they're somehow going to figure out how to climb down this thing now. That's what I said, look up. Okay, can that thing fall from above already? Thank you for helping. It's going to have to get ugly. Y'all got to figure out how to kill these things. I know you've been trying not to, but we're beyond that now. If this bitch does not stop with the yelling at people, I swear to God. No, not the computer! You need that! Get away from the window! Why do they keep putting him behind the window? It's making me nervous. The sound effect was great. I'm angry. Check his hands then, right? They go cold?
확인하고 싶은 사람 있으면 와서 확인해. 긁힌 거냐? 긁힌 거 맞아.
Yeah, bitch. Bye.
지금 너 때문에 죽을 것 같아.
내가 지금 괜찮다고 다들 그만 안 해? 선부 입 다물어.
Just throw the redhead out. She's causing all the trouble. Literally.
한 시간이냐?
Oh, we've been taking it.
이러면 충분하지.
You see how much more reasonable he is than your stupid ass? You might end up being the safest one. I hope someone breaks in there and he locks the door. What are you up to, you psycho? No, don't help him. Do not help him. This is God's comeuppance. See? See? If this guy survives, I swear to God. Scratch his eyeballs out. Pull his hair.
아저씨든 누구든 구하러 올 거야.
He's trying. They just tease each other so much that I feel like she doesn't trust anything that he says is being authentic. Oh no, not when she finally got to open the restaurant and now it's a zombie apocalypse. I'm sorry. You put your son's face on it? Oh, those are some proud parents. I would never forgive my mom for putting my face on a chicken restaurant. I hope he doesn't lose his parents, but people losing parents is kind of inevitable. Of course, she's going to try to call her son, and the school took all of their phones. Oh, and now she sees the school. This poor mama. Please don't do what most mamas would do and go running to the school. I don't even know why I'm saying that. My mom would do the same thing. Pretty sure I would do the same thing if it was my kid. Oh, God. That might have been God saving you.
감염되는 걸로 파악되니까 절대 물리거나 신체 접촉은 하지 마.
He's like, why did you not tell me this 5 minutes ago? He's like, now I have to kill you, friend. Ew. Make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. One of my actual nightmares. Bye. You already like drank half his blood when he spit on you, so. This is so cute that they think shields is going to be what they need right now. This is actually pretty cool because in a lot of the other zombie films and stuff, you don't get to see this first infection stuff, right? Like how the police would respond and stuff. Shield wall! There's way too many of them. And we've already seen that some just leap over like freaking gazelles. If there was ever a time to rain down a pepper spray of bullets, this would be it. She gonna find a way in. There is nothing that is more dangerous than a mama on a mission. Let me tell you that right now. She gonna find a way in. You don't. That bike is not for you, ma'am. You're not ready for that life. Oh no, Mama Bear. No, it's too late for that.
말 조심해라.
넌 몸 조심해라.
니들은 이상하게 싸우고 싶어?
Right? Like,
생각
seriously.
없어? 초딩이야?
I wish I could say this is teen drama, but adults do the exact same thing.
아씨, 차가우냐.
After you were such a jerk, like, you're not a charming lady at all. I want to get away from you too.
제가 들어갈게요.
왜 네가 들어가? 들어갈 거면 이나연이 들어가야지.
Facts.
근데 너처럼 무시는 안 했어.
왜 나한테만 그래?
너만 그러니까.
그만해, 재빈아.
She's right, though.
10분 지났어.
Yeah. Are you slow? Do we have to spell this out for your little ass? She's gonna find some way to make it disrespectful. I promise. Why is she shutting the door? There's no way she's apologizing if they can't hear her.
간다.
What is this little bitch up to? I don't trust her at all. I don't like her. Why is the door closed? Open the door.
그럴 만한 상황이어서 그랬던 거야.
You little bitch! You little bitch! She's gonna infect him just so she doesn't have to be wrong. I hate her! I hate this. I hate this. This kid didn't ask for this. I hope she dies painfully.
네.
It never takes an hour. It never... Okay.
봤지? 이래도
Throw her ass out. Oh my god. I'm gonna be so annoyed with her until she dies. Her and the freaking mullet guy, they've gotta die together. Painfully. I'm so sick of her.
나 변한 거지. 그치?
This is aggravating. If this whole show is just the evil people winning, then they can all turn to zombies. I'm done.
감염된 인간은 극한의 공포심을 느낀 후에
This bitch. And why is she holding on to something that's infected? I hope she accidentally licks it. I hate her. I hate her.
우리도 살아야 될 거 아니에요.
If y'all don't lock her ass in that sound room and leave her there to die. Oh, Jesus. This thing makes you hallucination right before you have hallucinations? You know who to go for. You know who to go for. Maybe they'll be able to cure him? Be free, my friend. Hopefully they'll be able to save you and you can come back and kill that bitch. Someone has to beat her up. I'm sorry. I will not be happy in this series unless that bitch gets her ass whooped cleanly. Shut your mouth. Say a word. I dare you. Oh, why does this baby have to be born today? No! Oh, mama. She's trying. No, she don't want her baby to go down like this. I wonder if she'd be able to fight it purely on mama's instinct. I mean, newborns don't move that much, but I think you need something else, something that will keep you from potentially, or go out there, actually. In that case, you should leave. Oh, she's in the chicken shop. How? Okay, so she's trying to make sure they didn't get in the door, even though her baby is turned into a zombie alarm. Yes, all the hands on the window, by the way. Walking Dead throwback. I feel like you should have put the baby in like a more secure location. I mean, it's a restaurant. They had to have like a, well, no, you know, like a back room or something. Is, what's his name? Mama gonna come back to work sometime soon? Rescue this baby, please?
내가 여기 있다고 했는데도 헬기 배정이 늦어지냐고.
의원님 계신다는 보고 나갔습니다.
In case you haven't also noticed, kind of chaos going on right now.
귀빈이 먼저가 아니라 요약자나 응급 환자가 먼저입니다.
Period.
곧 연락 올 테니 조금만 더 기다리시면 감사하겠습니다.
You know what? Her daughter's probably the redhead. I bet you her daughter is the redhead. Same stuck up bitch ass attitude.
내가 얘기했잖아. 가면 될 거라고.
Can someone break a chair over her head?
네가 그런 거 아니야?
Thank you. Thank you. Check her pockets. Please. Please. Check her pockets right now.
뭘 봤는데? 네가 그런 거 맞잖아.
Amen.
내가 경수 그렇게 만든 거 아니라고. 나 경수 얘기하지도 않았는데.
Oh?
아니 또 왜 그래?
Oh? Oh, she caught you, bitch.
너 저기 모든 비 손수건으로 닦았지?
Mm-hmm.
아니?
Mm-hmm.
그랬어.
Okay, check your pockets then.
씨발! 네가 뭔데 지랄이야. 반장이면 다야?
Yes. Thank you. Oh, that felt so good. Again.
나연이가 경수 죽인 거예요.
Mm-hmm.
이게 경수피라고. 보면 몰라? 그럼 네 상처에 대봐.
Exactly. Yes. Do it.
나도
Get
죽어버리면
out.
될 거 아니야.
Please do.
니들이 바라는 게 그거
No one
아니야?
wants you. It's true. Yep.
내가 경수보다 못한 게 뭔데요?
He wasn't an asshole? He wasn't a murderer? Where do I stop?
이제 와서 아닌 척하는데.
정수를 왜 찍었냐고.
She needs more than that. Now she's gonna laugh like a crazy person, right? Like this sis with the short hair, her face is me. Ew, like, are your tears supposed to mean something right now? Feel free to jump out the window, please. I wonder why. Thank God. Lock it. That is the best thing she's done for everybody. She literally killed a kid for being poor. Bye. Society's better off without her.
누군가를 죽음으로 내몰면 사는 게 아무것도 아니게 돼.
It's kind of every person for themselves now. That might have been true before there was a zombie apocalypse, but now if there's a few people that the world could be without, I mean, I feel like that's just natural selection. That's just karma. Why am I going to interfere with God's plan? No, let her go. If she wants, I mean, she's a teacher. She has to, you know, I guess, or whatever. But watch, this nice teacher's gonna die for this stupid bitch. Get to the chopper! But that noise is gonna bring like all of the zombies to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours. Really? Why do we keep ending when something interesting is about to happen? Why is this show about this? I mean, I get it, cliffhangers or whatever, but every episode, can we just not end on a clean resolution? Just one. All right, guys, that was episode 3 of All of Us Are Dead, or 지금우리학교는. This was a interesting episode. This is one of the ones, like I said, that we'd have to get in a series like this that's so high octane. You'd need an episode of just breathing and relaxing and not having like that full on go, 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 go. And this was the episode, right? We got a little bit more downtime with our main course group of students. And, you know, now the outside world is finally starting to catch up to what's been going on. I think the main things that I took away from this episode was probably, I mean, we saw more about the redheaded girl who, God, I don't even know her name. I don't even care. Just kidding. Let me find out. Let me, hold on. Let me find out. Nayeon. So we found out more about Nayeon. Nayeon we were introduced to in the first episode. She was yelling at Goksu basically because he was sitting on her desk and she kept calling him dirty and cheap and gross. And at first I just thought she was being a bit, you know, prissy, but it became very clear through the episodes that she had a very like deep-seated issue with this kid, which I mean, how, right? High school's not that deep. How do you hate this kid so much? And from the sounds of things, it's just purely because he's not rich. Like, she clearly is a little bit more well-to-do. We saw in the first episode that him and a bunch of his friends ran past her when she was leaving her house, and you know, she just kept yelling at them, and we heard that they come from the apartment complex. And you know, and from my understanding, I'm not Korean, I've never been to Korea, but I do think they kind of have like these, I don't want to call them housing projects, but they're kind of like that, right? Like basically affordable housing. And you know, a lot of people live there because not everybody in Korea is rich. And clearly, she lives in a place that you have to have a bit of money to live in, and so she must think she's better than everybody else. And we saw there that she kept making fun of him for being poor, that his family was on welfare, which I will never understand why people think it's at all a dig or some kind of a, you know, some kind of a zing because you're insulting somebody for not having money, like especially a teenager. Like, he's got any control over how much money his family has? Like, anyways, I get it. They're all teenagers, and unfortunately, kids are assholes sometimes. And in this case, you know, I'm sure a lot of that, unfortunately, comes from her home life. You know, she's probably heard her own parents condescend and look down on people who are poor, and she felt like she could do the same. But clearly, with girls like her, if you want to get into the deeper psychology of it, clearly she's got a lot of esteem issues. Clearly something ain't right up here. She hates herself. You have to hate yourself to go out of your way to be so hurtful and mean, and to the point where you kill somebody. To the point where you kill somebody rather than admit the fact that you were wrong about them. This is why I can't feel anything for her right now. I know that the teacher had her reasons for saving her, which I'll get to in a minute, but yeah, we got to see just how deep this self-hatred, which then spilt over onto poor Goksu, kind of went, where, they finally got in this room. We got all of our group back together, including my hot boy there. But of course, Nayeon just wants him gone. She just doesn't want him there. I think it bothered her, the idea that he might survive this thing and she won't. And the fact that he kept calling her out for being such a snob. And really, we saw that the group was even getting tired of it, right? It's one thing when you're in school and it's kind of like, okay, she's saying something here and there, but you're moving on with life. But now they're in a life and death situation. And we saw that more than once, Guk-soo stepped up to help save everybody else when he had no reason to do so. He wasn't the biggest guy in the room. He wasn't the strongest guy in the room, but he stepped up because he cared. And the fact that she just, everyone saw that, right? All the students saw that this kid was actually genuinely a good guy, even if he had his annoying points. So the fact that Nayeon just kept digging and digging and digging and digging at him, they all got sick of it. They were like, bitch, what do you want? They were to the point where what more do you want from this guy? He's poor. What, okay. And how does that matter right now? Rich, poor, ugly, pretty, short, tall, it don't matter right now. These zombies be biting everybody and you sitting here doing this. So she got upset because, she realized very quickly that she has no charming points other than being rich from the sounds of things. And as the things are wearing on, her true, very mean and selfish colors are coming through, whereas Guk-soo is actually shining as more of the heroic and kind type. And she hated that because she knew deep down that her hatred of him was completely unjustified. But of course, when it came down to the scratch, and now we know that scratches in of themselves don't cause infections, at least I think we can infer that. But obviously any type of blood on blood contact, which makes sense, right? Blood or saliva. That's really what is the transferring agent here. So my poor boy, Guk-soo just got sick of it, right? Because I understand, I wasn't even mad at the students for suspecting when he had the nosebleed. I mean, at that point you got to, because how many people got bitten, didn't say nothing now? But I understand why he went to the sound room himself. He was just like, I don't need to deal with all this. I got harder things in life than dealing with y'all. But in the end, of course, because she was about to be embarrassed and she didn't like that, and she knew that people really didn't like her, she actually went to the ultimate low and decided to infect this kid just to avoid being wrong. Just to avoid the fact that she would actually have to apologize to him for being a snob, which is disgusting. I honestly don't even have the words. I could never in good conscience kill somebody. I understand if this was something where he got hurt. Again, it's not right. But even if it was just something where he got hurt, right? And she let that happen or caused that to happen. But to know that what she was doing was going to kill him. And I mean, I know at the end she's like, oh, he didn't die. He just got infected and he ran away. It's like, no, sweetie. I think you're pretty sure you look at, you saw the way his body's been moving and twisting. These people aren't okay. You said yourself they smell like the dead. So, and again, I know I said in the first episode, I don't know if they're alive or not, but we heard from the science teacher this episode that he told the cops, don't have hope. They're already dead. Everyone's going to die. So I guess this does kill them. It is the true zombie form, but it just seems very different than what, we've seen of other zombie shows in that, they don't have a down period of death. It's it lasts for about 30 seconds and they're right back. So it's World War Z type stuff, but here we are. So anyways, we saw Nayeon's true colors, and thank God Miss Class President called her out because she was about to get high. That's the part that blew me away. I'm like, this dizzy, she about to go get high and mighty on these kids when they're still grieving. And she, of course, was going to, I was right. Didn't you see? You were all wrong. I was right. And so I'm so glad that girl said, nuh-uh, not on my watch, sis. I've had enough of your mouth. I never had enough of your nagging. You did this. You're a murderer. Deal with that. Get out. And I'm so mad that teacher went after her, but I understand why, because she's technically teachers are responsible for children. And I understand she's probably thinking, from the more altruistic, higher level, clearly Nayeon's got issues and there's hope for her. And just because she made a bad call, blah. I don't care about any of that stuff right now. We're in a zombie apocalypse and she just killed a kid that did nothing to her other than be poor. So I got no sympathy for Nayeon right now. And she's just in my opinion, she's exactly like Mr. Mullet, who's still barely surviving in the kitchen, which is weird that we keep seeing him. But anyway, she's the kind of person who will throw every last person in that room. She would throw them all in front of herself before she would dare do anything for anybody. So I don't know why anyone going out there and sacrificing themselves for her. She reminds me, if you saw Train to Busan, she reminds me of that businessman, the one who in the end does what he does. I'm not going to give it away for those who haven't seen it, but there's a businessman in there that if you ever see that movie or if you've seen it, you know who I'm talking about. That's who Nayeon is to me. She don't give a damn about nobody. Do not waste your time on her because she ain't gonna save you. She will not return the favor. Humanity is not in that girl. But anyways, this was it was a sad episode, but it is one of those things when you have these types of zombie shows, a lot of times they like to give you that reality check that good people don't always survive, right? In some of these bad, like horrible shows, you kind of have the trope where the hero or the good guy survives in the end triumphantly and saves the people he cares about. But the reality is that you lose good people, right? And often it's the heroes that die first because they're always trying to help other people, endangering themselves in the process. And that's the part that sucks, right? Party's like, you understand Nayeon's logic to a degree, like, why should I sacrifice myself and die? But, we also don't need a world full of Nayeons either, right? So anyway, it was sad to see him go. And obviously we saw that Chung-san is livid about this. And I don't think anyone in the room is going to forget it. I mean, the teacher going out there, I'm thinking they're not going to go back to the room now, though, because the kids are definitely not going to trust Nayeon at all. And I wouldn't either. Like that, if she's willing to do that, what else should she be willing to do to anybody in that room? So I feel like the teacher and Nayeon are going to be another little subunit in this whole thing trying to survive. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that teacher is probably going to end up dying trying to save Nayeon. I guess the only thing that might redeem her character, if there is a redemption path, is if she learned, like if that teacher actually does survive, like, save her life somehow and sacrifices herself, maybe then she'll understand the value of life and try to be different. But we'll have to see. Outside of that, we had the wide world finally figuring out that the virus is happening. The science teacher confessed to the police officer that he created the virus, and he didn't really get it. From the sounds of things, it doesn't sound like he got into all the details, but we see that the press seems to have a lot of information about it already, so maybe he has already given up a lot of info. I gotta think that the cops, if they're able to, are gonna go straight to his house and his labs and figure out what they can to try to reverse engineer this thing. He obviously isn't gonna cooperate right now because he has no reason to, but at least everyone knows kind of what's happening. And we see that a couple of the parents, like Chung-san's parents and Eunjo's dad, they now know what's going on. Well, I should say in Chung-san's case, his mom knows. His dad went to try to go downtown. We don't know if he's going to survive that, but bless her heart, like any mother, she tried to go to the school and see for herself what was going on. It looks like that's their only son, and they clearly, she's clearly obsessed with him. But yeah, she ended up, of course, getting a bit trapped because she's riding a delivery bike that she clearly has no idea how to manage. And then she looks like she hurt herself because she wiped out, thanks to the student that we saw from the first episode, who I was right. She was secretly pregnant. And she was going into labor, and she just basically wanted to go and have her baby. She would have had it at the school, which would have been actually it wouldn't have been safer, because if she'd had it at the school, she would have ended up at the hospital. So I don't know if it would have been any better. But anyhow, we saw that, yes, she gave birth by herself. And that's really a sad situation. I've watched several documentaries about this situation with teen moms in Korea, and it's actually one of the saddest things I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, I really do hope that South Korea will at some point make it less of a horrible thing for teen moms if they end up in that situation. I'm not going to get into the deep, societal issues there, because I know that every country's got their own viewpoints and things that they do when it comes to these things. And I'm not saying South Korea is wrong or right. I'm just saying that it's really horrible that a teenage girl feels like she's got to give birth to her baby by herself and abandon it, because that's the better option. Like, that should never be the case. If a child's going to be in this world, the child's here, period. Like, there's no going back at that point. So I just don't think life should be made unnecessarily hard for somebody who's in a position now where they're a mom and they have this baby who needs taking care of. But we saw there that, even though she tried to abandon the baby because she thought it'd be best, I think she, in the situation, again, if you're curious about this, just look up some documentaries about teen pregnancy in Korea and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But she probably thought that the better situation for both her and the child would be for her to walk away. But then when she realized what was going on, thankfully her maternal instinct kicked in and she just couldn't leave her baby to be killed like that. So she did try to save her baby, but in the end we saw, unfortunately, she did get bitten, but she did manage to protect her baby. So that shows you, like I said, mamas can do things that would blow your mind. And in the end, she basically tied herself up so she wouldn't be able to hurt the baby, but also wanted to make sure, or try to make sure, that the other zombies didn't get to the baby. Let's hope, since she somehow managed to make it into the Chung-san chicken shop, let's hope that Chung-san's mom shows up and is able to rescue the baby before the zombies break through the glass, or mama breaks free, since sadly the newborn is crying, screaming, becoming a zombie alarm, and we all know how that goes. So there's that whole B plot. Was that pretty much it? I think that was the main thing, other than, of course, we saw that there were some very important looking people who are in an office building right now with Eunjo's dad. And clearly they're not happy about the fact that they're not top of the evacuation list. Yeah, this was an interesting episode. It was more, I think, just giving us more insight into the characters, more insight into the thinking that some people have. And again, just the general spreading of knowledge of what's happening in this world now, that it's outside of just the school. And we saw that we ended on an interesting note with a helicopter showing up, at least it sounded like a chopper, showing up at the school. I'm not sure why they would go to the school first, but maybe the kids are considered a high priority. But let's face it, we have no idea how many kids are still alive and how they even get to a chopper at this point. Oh, I forgot that the two kids, the suicidal girl and the other guy, are still on the roof, I think, as well. I'm guessing that if they're going to try to get into a helicopter, they're going to have to somehow get to the roof. That's my guess, is they're going to get in the next episode, them trying to make it a break for the rooftop. And that might be what ends up taking us to the end of this show. I can see that being the final arc, is the race to the rooftop. Who's going to survive? I'm very much invested in seeing how the rest of this series goes. I very much enjoyed watching this episode, and I hope that you enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next episode.